Today's story is sponsored by the lovely law firm.
Oh, there's something so real about living local, about the people and the places where we live. Just look at all the reasons why we call this home. And I'm living local. I'm living local 'cause it's where I love to be.
Good morning, thanks for watching Living Local. I'm here chatting with Justin Lovely of the Lovely Law Firm once again. How are you doing today?
Doing great. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. I love chatting with you. Today we're chatting all about rideshare claims, and this is something new, right?
Yeah, it's new that we've seen down here in the Strand. Of course, you know, Uber and Lyft have been around for several years now, but it's really picked up and kind of set its way in our culture down here.
Yeah, I mean, rideshare, though, I still feel is like such a new thing that's being offered these days, though, too, even though, like you said, it's only been around for, a few years now.
Yeah.
So, rideshare claims, this can affect passengers or drivers. Tell me a little bit about this.
Right, so you have those two aspects. You either have claims for drivers or obviously if you're a passenger.
Right.
If you're a driver, it's a big issue because if you're in an accident, you think you're covered under your own insurance policy. And it's going to be a surprise when you're at fault for an accident and realize that you are exposed because you have what's called a for-hire exclusion in your personal policy.
Oh my goodness. So
it can be, yeah, absolutely. So it's a big eye opener when we get calls, and sometimes we get calls and we realize, hey man, you were at fault, and they have no idea about this exclusion. They thought they were covered under their policy that they're paying for.
Right.
And then the problem is, again, you've heard me say this in other episodes that we've done, is this COVID situation. Everybody was laid off. They had to work. They go and sign up for these apps, because the gig economy's taken over, especially down here in Myrtle Beach. And they're not reading the fine print. Nobody does. They just get on some rides and hope they're never going to get in an accident. They're trying to make money.
Right.
But they need to take time to look at their policy and see if they're covered.
Okay. So for drivers, what would you kind of recommend for them if they get in an accident?
Well, drivers, they need to call their insurance company before they start driving for these rideshare companies. Okay, and talk about that for-hire exclusion.
Okay.
That way, if they have personal assets, if they own a home or whatever they have, that won't be exposed in the event they are at fault.
Okay.
So definitely check into that.
Okay, and then we have the passenger side. How does that work?
Right. So now a passenger is what you would normally think of, if you're driving Uber, right? Because maybe you go out to Broadway at the beach, or you go to a restaurant and you don't want to drive, so you're going to do the responsible thing, right? And you're going to use Uber or Lyft. Well, it all depends on, are you on a ride? Are you at the end of your ride? Was the Uber driver at fault? Is another person or entity at fault for the accident? We investigate all those aspects for you. And here's the one thing to keep in mind, that Uber and Lyft, or whoever the rideshare company is, will provide additional underinsured motorist coverage for your accident if you're involved in this. So don't give up if it's just, if there's like a minimum policy at play from an at-fault driver. And we pursue all that and investigate all that and see how much there is to go for.
Wow. And then what would you recommend for a passenger? Kind of what should they do? Anything? I mean, I guess there's not really they can do ahead of time, but when this happens.
Well, yeah, just when this happens, definitely go seek medical treatment. I can tell you the top 3 things. How about that?
Yes.
The top 3 things.
Top 3 from the lovely law firm. We love it.
The top 3 things are, you need to investigate, okay? So get us involved early so we can investigate this claim for you, investigate the Uber or Lyft policy that's available. Or there could be other rideshare entities like the Amazon Flex Delivery, Grubhub, Uber Eats. All those different things have additional insurance policies.
Okay.
So that'd be the first thing, is the investigation. That's key. As the passenger personally, don't give a statement. That is the worst thing that you can do, because your adrenaline's pumping, your endorphins are high. You're not even really feeling your injuries even a week after the fact.
Okay.
So they're going to try to lock you into a statement. I'm talking about the defense adjusters. Lock you into a statement to later delay, deny, devalue your treatment, lower your case value. Just don't do it. Don't give a statement.
Okay.
Okay. If you ever have to give a statement, it'll be with me sitting beside you, and it'll be for settlement purposes only.
Love that.
All right. And then the third thing, and perhaps the most important thing, is seek your medical treatment and follow the doctor's orders. I know you've heard me say this 1,000 times. If anybody's followed me on YouTube or any of my other social media videos, they know I'll say this: follow the doctor's orders, because those doctors, believe it or not, are putting everything in your medical record, and that's what we're going to use to put a value on your claim when we get to settlement time.
Good tips. I love it. Thank you so much for chatting today.
I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, and thanks for watching Living Local. Where can folks go if they want to learn more?
Yeah, we're on anywhere you consume your social media. We've got a podcast, the Carolina Justice Report.
Wow.
I'm on TikTok now. I'm not doing any dances, unfortunately, but you can get some good FAQ materials. I'm on YouTube. I'm on Facebook. Again, wherever you guys consume your material. If you want some more good legal tips and advice, reach out and
That's
watch
awesome.
our content.
Love it. I love that website.
Thanks.
We'll be right back, folks.
Today's story is sponsored by the Lovely Law Firm.